Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Déjà Vu for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Last episode we got our memory back, so let's go to the cops. I'm sure they'll understand everything if we just reason with them. So let's head on in. And no, they don't. So this is one of the potential game overs we get. Basically they investigate the murder and, well, the main thing is they found the gun. So let's, why don't we go back and throw that gun away and see if we have any change of luck. So, we're back here at Joe's bar. We're going to head down into the sword. Yeah, there were several different scenarios that can happen when you go to the police. Most of them occur after you get your memory back. So you saw that one there. We still have the gun. So let's leave the gun and see if anything new happens because of that. Because last time they said, hey, the gun linked us to the murder because the same bullets were found inside Joey Siegel's body. Well, now we don't have the gun, so are they going to tie us to the murder in some other way? If you said yes, you are correct. We still have plenty more game to go. So, in this instance, they hear our story. Too little evidence for Stonewood and Vickers to be suspected. They found evidence they suspect you committed Joey Siegel's murder and kidnapped Miss Stonewood. So the bad blood between Siegel and us was known. It's kind of cut in this issue, but in this version. But apparently, Joey Siegel used to be our manager for our boxing manager, and apparently he rigged some fights and stuff, caused some bad blood between us. So basically now we have two more game overs you can get. Basically, if you go to the cops and you have a bunch of evidence that shows that Vickers and Stonewood are behind everything, but you don't get rid of the evidence that you have that links you to the crime, well then you're gonna go to jail. Another one is if you go there without any evidence that you committed the crime, you got rid of all that, but you don't have enough evidence to link Stonewood and Vickers to the crime, well, they're gonna get you by default. So, yeah, you have to basically, in order to complete the game, we're gonna have to get rid of that gun one, all the evidence that points to us, and then have enough evidence to show that it was actually Vickers and Stonewood. Vickers, we'll learn, is basically the secretary for Joey Siegel here. And that bungalow that we were at, that was basically her place. Anywhere it talks about like smelling of cheap perfume, that is indication that that place is tied to Vickers, the secretary. So we don't need to come back here anymore. This was Vickers' office. Let's get out of here. We used that note 3 that was the in Vickers' bungalow. That's the combination of the safe there, and the safe, we got a key. It's a key to the trunk of the Mercedes-Benz here. Remember, we couldn't open the trunk up even with key 2. Key 2 is the key that opens the car and starts it up. But for some reason it doesn't unlock the trunk. But key 4 that we just found in the safe, that does open up the trunk. When we open up the trunk, we're going to see this really big fat lady in there. Remember, we saw a picture of her inside the glove compartment, the snapshot. So you want to take this lady's gag out off of her. And even though she's unconscious, you can still give her some medicine. And we want to give her some of that truth serum, which was the medicine 1. That's why we took it. from Dr. Brody's office. So let's use that capsule. Remember when we read the file about the medicine, it says that it'll get people to tell the truth even if they're unconscious. So we just basically need to get her to speak, and then she gives us her address. And that is another place that we're going to have to go. Before we go, we still have our gun 1 because we loaded the save from before we threw it away. And this will get us another death. Shooting Mrs. Stonewood. The address that she gave is the address where she lives. So a lot of the game overs we get basically right now, there's a lot left. They all basically involve, well, most of them all involve shooting. So that's why we still have the gun there. There are going to be a lot of people to shoot when we go to that new address that Mrs. Stonewood there just told us. So let's head back to one of the cabbies. We'll use the yellow cabbie. This is the nice cabbie. Looks like a nice guy. The importance of the nice guy thing is this guy, if you, I'll show it off in the last episode, but if you can't pay your fare, he'll let you go. He'll say you'll owe me, and he won't take you anywhere else until you pay the money you owe him. Where the blue cabbie, if you don't pay him and leave, he automatically calls the cops. So this guy's a little more generous. We saw that earlier when that game over, when I didn't try to pay the blue taxi driver, he instantly called the cops on us. Let's open up the mailbox, see what we got in here. Name Mr. Stonewood. Newspaper cutouts. So that's obviously if they don't want their handwriting to be recognized. Let's see what's inside the envelope. A letter. Let's read that letter. A ransom note. We have your wife. You have 24 hours to collect $20,000. Considerably, she's dead. Standing at the corner of Brewer and Elm at exactly 12 midnight. Have the ransom in a briefcase. There you'll be contacted with further instructions. We're going to see that briefcase in a little bit. Later on in this episode. Let's take that letter. Good ransom note. Should be some good evidence. We can close the envelope and close the mailbox. So they talked about like Gone with the Wind and Scarlett O'Hara. There's another reference to Gone with the Wind in The Uninvited. One of the ghosts in there is going to look like the lady Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind. So Mr. Stonewood is loaded. Alrighty. Let's head into his house. He is so loaded, we're going to see that he actually has a butler here. And that is one of the other game overs we can get, which is what I'm going to save here. Can't open the door, but if we examine the door, we see that little knocker there. You can't hit it, that don't work. You have to use the knocker here. And the butler will answer. And here's a little clue that we should just punch him. He looks like a classic wimp. Remember, we're a boxer, we're a former boxer. So we just use our fist on the guy. But if you use your gun on the guy, well, the rest of the cleaning servants are going to see it, call the cops, and yep, you're going to jail again. So yeah, quite a few later on we're going to see, as we investigate this mansion here, we'll actually find Vickers and Mr. Stonewood. You can shoot both of them as well, and you'll end up getting a game over. Of course, show that off. When we get past the butler, once again use violence. Use our fists, knock him out. Remember, he is just a wimp, so. Alrighty. There's a kitchen over there. We're going to head into that. When they have to go into the kitchen, we're just going to go in there just like to show everything off. But the main thing is to go upstairs. That's where Vickers and Mr. Stonewood are. Luckily they're asleep, which allows us to safely root through all their stuff. And basically we'll find two main pieces of evidence against them. You need 3 pieces of evidence. Miss Vickers' diary, a letter, and a memo that you're going to find here in Stonewood's house. You could already have the diary, but like I said, I want to show off that one ending where you go to the police with all the evidence against you thrown away, but not enough evidence against Stonewood and Vickers. That's why I didn't take that. It's just something silly. You can take this sausage and eat it, but get you sick. Yeah, maybe we can take some of that medicine, the sodium bicarbonate, medicine 3, that helps counteract pain of overeating. In the final episode, I'll have a little bit of time left over because there's not much. It's not enough to fill a whole episode. The finale, I'll show off what using all those different medicines do. So, can't eat any sugar. Can't eat the flour. Like I said, this is just a pointless room to kind of throw things off. You can grab all these items, but unimportant. Good enough just to look at them. You do get that one memory when you look at the the pan. Make you think of your mother. We closed everything off there. Just gonna close the door. Make it look like we didn't rummage through here. Now we're going to head upstairs. And Miss Vickers is in the guest room to the left. And in the front is Mr. Stonewood's place, his bedroom, and they connect to each other, so it doesn't matter which one you go in. Like I said, you're going to find a piece of evidence in both of them, a memo in where Miss Vickers is, and then the letter where Mr. Stonewood is. Hey, there's that briefcase, remember? Supposed to have the ransom money in. And the interesting is you can hit both Mr. Stonewood and Miss Vickers, and they don't wake up. So they won't even feel it when they get shot. Of course, we will feel it, because it leads, like I said, to another game over. Show that off. Nope. End of the line for us. We'll continue from our last save. And we'll do the same thing over here with Mr. Vickers. Once again, we smell this cheap perfume. So, everywhere Miss Vickers is. So it basically seems like Miss Vickers was basically a working class lady, a secretary. Didn't have a lot of money, but she kind of fell in love with Mr. Stonewood here, who was married to that really big fat lady. And they wanted to get together, but of course the wife was in the way, so they had to get rid of her, do that kidnapping. learn more about how Joey Siegel and stuff ties into that. Miss Vickers worked for Joey Siegel. So, alright, I'm going to save here, and that's where I'm going to start in the next episode. I'm going to show off a few things. Talk with the cabbie. And like I said, now that we got basically all the evidence that ties us to the crime, but we don't have all the evidence that ties Vickers and Stonewood to the crime, we can get a different ending when we go to or a different game over when we go to the police. Let's get out of here. And on back to the cops. But before we do that, we'll go back to the sewers, and inside the sewers I showed where you got rid of that gun. That's basically the place where you want to get rid of a bunch of stuff. Paper that you want to get rid of, you can also use the lighter to burn it, but that's just taking another item out of the coat, so didn't bother doing that. Just throw it in the sewer. Now the game, in order to make it not unwinnable, if there's something important that you may need, the game won't let you throw it out. So feel free to try to get rid of everything here. If it won't let you get rid of it, it'll say that you're not going to hold on to that. So there's the gun that ties to the crime, because we have the, that's the bullets are in Joey Siegel's body. This was the map that basically told us how to kidnap Miss Stonewood. Snapshot of Miss Stonewood. The note 3. That's the combination. Bunch of stuff that has Joey's name on it. The bookmark from the diary. File 5 is the kidnapping note, the plan. Note 1 was the ransom note. Obviously, there's the gag that was on the lady. It has her DNA on it and stuff. We were wondering why. I don't know if DNA was a big thing back then. Probably not in the 40s. There we go. We got rid of all the stuff that ties us to the crime. So now we're going to go back to the police. I'm just doing this just for safety. I don't think you need to throw these away, but you can throw them away, so just for safety. The hanky and the wallet. The wallet doesn't have anything on it, but the hanky does have Joey Siegel's initials on it again. So, just to be safe, anything that was once his, basically made it look like we shot Joey Siegel and then stole a bunch of stuff off of him. We don't have any of his stuff on us, we should be good. And we don't have the gun that killed him. And we have the story, at least, of, Vickers and Stonewood. That should be enough to get us free. So, like I said, let's head to the cops. Oh, we got the mugger again. Darn. That's okay if we give him the money, because, like I said, we're going to restart back in Mr. Stonewood's mansion in the next episode. Yeah, so all this stuff doesn't really matter. I'm just doing it to show off another potential ending, or game over. The bad ending. Okay, let's go to the police. Let's see what they have to say. Please see you. They want to hear your story. Too little evidence for Stonewood's Vickers to respect. So yeah, we need to get that evidence that they need. So, the bad bad blood between us and Steve because, like I said, he was our previous manager of boxing. So, yeah. Well, next episode, we will finally solve the case and get the evidence that points to Vickers and Stonewood. Take care, have a good one, see you then. Bye.